Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Nikki Starr. Welcome to Another Day Live. This video is for the ladies, but of course, you men can listen in if you're interested so you can better understand your woman. This video today is inspired by a comment that was left on a video 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I posted about women taking their first day off or the first few days off of their menses, depending on how it is. And someone asked specifically about a woman's cycle and the moon cycle. And it was perfect because the day that I shared that video was the day of the new moon, or the day before I shared that video was the day of the new moon. And I shared that I had started my moon on that day. And actually, the fact that even people just call it a moon cycle. Sometimes people don't say menstrual cycle, they say your moon cycle. So when it comes to women's periods and the moon, are they connected? Yes, they are connected. You can actually use it interchangeably. And how it works is that the moon cycles every 28 days. And it goes from full moon to full moon, or you can say new moon to new moon in 28 days. And the same is true for women's periods. And it was said that we are in sync with the moon, where most commonly women would ovulate on the full moon and have their period on the new moon. And the new moon is a time where you want to go inward anyway. And it's a time where, it's dark in the night and it's more of a reflective inward time. And when a woman has her period, this is the same thing. You don't want to be doing a lot of things. You want to go within, you want to meditate, you want to really honor your body. And the myth of why women would ovulate, meaning an egg would drop, which would be the possibility for impregnation and having getting pregnant with a baby, is because lovers could see each other in the night. So isn't that a fun little fact? So if you think of the full moon and you think of lovers in the night, it's like the moonlight helped for that period of time. And full moons are really a time for release too. And in a sense, you're like releasing the egg. So that's kind of like the mythos behind it. Now, most women are not in sync with the moon anymore. And this is because of artificial lighting. And what happens is we are regulated by light, and the body is very sensitive to light. And so, at night, people are sleeping with TVs on, there's light from the street. So the body doesn't know when it's the full moon or when it's not. However, women who are very connected to nature and who live in places where it's dark at night, and so that the body can really feel when there is moonlight shining down, this is when you're most likely to be in sync with the moon. So it's almost like returning back to a life of nature is what really allows you to return back to be in sync with nature's cycle. And we can see this in so many different ways when we think about just even like artificial temperature, right? Like people don't even get cold anymore. And the problem with that is you're taking less deep breaths, because when it's cold, we take a deep breath. So the body has gotten, especially in modern days with all the comfort, people have gotten really comfortable and our bodies are kind of out of whack. And if you're a woman that is desiring to return to nature's cycle, I invite you as much as possible to allow it to be dark at night and so if you do live in a place of nature, do your best not to put on lights after it gets dark. And if you do, use lamps in low light, not these bright highlights. And if you have lights on your property, to shut them off and to really allow yourself to receive the moonlight. And when it is a full moon, be outside in the full moon. The other thing I want to share is sometimes women have the reverse, where they get their period on the full moon and they ovulate on the new moon. And it was often said in tribes that the healers or the women who were giving their gifts to the world, who were not focused on reproduction at that time, but rather creation in different ways, that they would actually have that opposite cycle. And the idea was so that they could take care of the women so that they, the women could take care of each other on the opposite times. So generally being in sync where you bleed on the new moon and you ovulate on the full moon is for childbearing, and having the opposite was for the healers and the women who were sharing out in the world. And one other fun fact is back in native times, and when people were living with the earth and connected to the moon cycles and living more community and tribal, is there used to be something called a red tent. And it's a time where women take off when they're bleeding, and all the women who are bleeding bleed together in this red tent. And it's like, to leave the women be and allow them to go through their process. And the other women who were on a different cycle would help to take care of those women and do any other chores or things that needed to be done. So it's really beautiful when we honor our womb and honor the cycles and we get into sync with nature. So I hope this video is inspirational for you and invites you to really connect back to your womb and back to your menses and the moon and the magic of the moon. And I send you all lots of love. I wish you a beautiful day, and share any comments or questions or things you'd like to see for future videos. Subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for being here. See you soon. Bye for now.